Snap. Okay. And we're good to go.
Yes.
Hello.
Mic check.
What's poppin'?
What's good?
What's going on?
Yo,
What's crack-a-lackin'?
it's 11.
Uh-huh.
Not the time. Not the year. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's episode 11.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out where you were going with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So welcome.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody.
To J. Suarez Casinos.
Fun.
Oh my God.
Terrible. What the hell?
Holy crap. My mic just came out of
Can't even get my intro out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You good?
Yep.
You good, fam?
Good, man.
For those not watching on YouTube, I encourage you to watch it on YouTube because there's a lot of shenanigans that go on camera
So many.
that you can't hear.
Yes.
Well, you can't see while listening to the podcast.
No, my mic, I just went to go grab from my mic and literally the whole holder just came out the table.
Contraption.
Jesus.
Anyway, where were we? Yes, welcome. Episode 11
Yes.
of the Terrible Reception Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you being here.
We want you guys to comment, like, subscribe. I did that this time because, we usually go really far in and it never happens. Until 45 minutes in.
Comment. Whoa. Comment, subscribe,
Yes.
turn on notifications,
And turn up.
and leave, all that good stuff on YouTube.
If you're on the way to work, have a great day. If you're coming home from work,
I hope you had a good day.
I hope you had a good day. I
Yeah.
hope you're going to get your favorite dinner.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't already have it, I hope you have some friends and some family to look forward to going home to or going out to.
Eat some Chick-fil-A in my carb memories.
Yes. And if you're about to go to sleep, we're very honored that you chose us to put you to sleep.
Yeah, but pause it right now and replay it tomorrow morning
Yes.
because we don't want you missing anything.
No.
We have very valuable information for you guys.
You definitely don't want to doze off or
No.
sleep on us, figuratively or,
Bang. Yes. So we did the YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. So leave a review. Leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, if that's the route you choose to go to, or Spotify. Now you can actually follow a podcast.
Yes.
I noticed that this morning. Hit the follow button.
Yes.
Search for us first. Don't search for any other ones.
You'll get a ding when we got some new.
Do you actually get a ding?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, some people
my
do.
phone's always on silent.
Yeah,
so
you get a
I don't
ding or
get any
something
dings.
like a little, they let you know that, your favorite
Mhm.
subscription
Yes.
has just dropped some new material,
Yes, sir. We try to keep it entertaining for you guys, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole spiel. Remember to heart us too
Mm-hmm.
on Spotify. And I guess we could get started, right?
Yeah, man.
Episode 11.
Let's do it.
I am Jay Suarez of
And-
Benatton Music and One Eye Photography. For
And I
those-
am Richard Roger Copier the third from
Goddamn.
France. No, I'm kidding. This is Parlay
But you're
of
not kidding.
Benetton. No,
You
I'm
are
not
from
kidding.
France.
That was my whole government in French, but
It wasn't even French, or was it just with a French accent?
no, it's French.
Okay.
Richard is Richard.
Oh.
Roger is Roger.
Roger.
And Copier is copier. Xerox machine.
Roger sounds mad funny because it reminds me of Doug.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say you look kind of like him, but no.
I was
He
just
was
going to go
green.
killer tofu.
Throwback.
Throwback.
Hope you're listening to this on a Thursday. This will be a throwback Thursday.
Throwback.
Today is February
How do you say
28th.
February?
Febrero.
Febrero?
Where's the extra R come from?
I don't know.
Febrero.
Febrero.
There you go. Febrero. The 28th.
Or in French, février.
Février. Sounds like a cheese.
Oh my God. You have a weird
So-
thing about my name because,
Which one?
copier or copier,
Copier.
because I had this principal that I used to eat my hummus sandwich during school lunches. And he used to
Sounds
come
so
up.
unsatisfying.
It was. So he used to come up behind me and he used to like start rubbing on my shoulders.
Hey.
And he's like, "Hey, Xerox, how you doing?" I'm like, "This is so awkward." He's like, "Who packed your lunch?" I'm like, "My mother." She's like, "Looks good."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Nah."
You know what else looks good? You know what else I want to pack?
Oh my God.
Man. Inappropriate in the first 10 minutes.
I like it.
But I guess we can get started now, right?
Let's get started. We haven't already begun.
You have any topics you want to discuss?
There's plenty of topics.
Okay.
We don't have Angry Train anymore. Apparently we have Rude Ass Airplane because...
Yo, what the hell? It's like mad random.
I hear that in the background. I don't know if they hear it, but...
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think this February, since we're on the last day of February...
February? Is that how you say it?
February?
Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know.
Tomato. February.
Some people like, you know how they say debt? Some people like debit.
Oh, God. Who says that? Oh, I know who says debit.
Debit?
Do you think this February goes down in the history of the worst Black History Month of all time?
It was pretty bad.
Going from our boy Jussie to R. Kelly, the whole R. Kelly situation.
Just everything, man.
The R. Kelly thing was like in January, but now he got arrested.
You know
so
what?
That's a plus.
But that's not fair to Black people to just be like, okay, you got a month and then you suck for the rest of the year.
It's the shortest month of the year too.
I know. It's like they had it. Somebody, I don't know, like Black people, if you're listening, just like with everything, just fucking take it back, man.
Take
like,
Black History Year.
Take Black History forever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it has to be. You never hear it's like White People Appreciation Month. You know, it's like that's kind of whack. Like there's so many whack things that make it more awkward for Black people, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good to recognize the Black community and all the great things they have put, or have contributed to our history and everything else. But it's kind of like after a while, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's like this like make Timmy feel special thing about it where it's like it's almost degrading. So I feel like, it should be a norm just like anybody else where we show appreciation where we should, or like we should show credit where credit's due. And I think like, to just give these little things, it's just, I don't know, it makes it awkward for Black people. And I think for everybody else, it keeps them in a space, like on a stereotypical level.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a way that, I don't know, the Black community or all communities all together, just find a way to start like, not getting rid of appreciation or recognition, but like stop making it so, I don't know. They try to like handicap people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not about it.
Still haven't answered my question though.
Yes, I did. I think it was a pretty bad one. That's what I'm saying. But it's
I just wanted to go into the things that happened in February.
Yeah, like I know it's just bad. Like it was bad representation of Black people, and there's so many great things that go on throughout the rest of the year that don't get recognition. It's just because, oh, that's cool. Like it should be normal. But then it's like, it's like you waiting for your enemy to fuck up. And I think that's how people treat it. So it's like there's stupid people all around, people fuck up all the time, but like they have to associate it with all Black people. Like I would hate that. Like, I mean, it happens anyway, but it's like, okay, a white kid shoots up a school. And now it's like everybody's like, okay, white people all of them are crazy, So,
you are?
Huh? I'm pretty crazy in my own. But
show me that picture of you and your brother when you were like younger. You look like you'd shoot up a school.
Thanks. Yeah, it's because I wore like turtlenecks and sweater vests my mom put me in, and then she gave me like that like kind of comb over type of thing.
Oh, is there fire in the house?
So we talking that heat.
Hey.
Talking that heat.
So, let me see. Did you hear about this YNW Melly guy?
YNW Melly, I haven't heard.
So I've been hearing about this guy
on
social media. It's a couple weeks old.
Okay.
Where the gentleman is being accused of murdering his 2 close friends and making a song about it.
Not surprised.
So this guy made this song about murdering the friends he just murdered.
Oh my God.
So I'm guessing they are using this against...
Why does it sound like a very happy song? You know what doesn't make sense? And I'm really tired of is just like these rappers make songs. Like, would you ever think that like El Chapo would be making a record talking about all the things he does, or like the actual like, real gangsters back in the day?
It's like snitching on yourself.
Yeah. So it's not gangster to me to like go in the booth and then like put down a melody like that.
It's like kissing and telling.
Yeah, like no real man that shoots and kill people like goes down. He's like, like it just, that's not hard. Like I don't care
you
who
see the
you
video.
are.
He has like a big snake in his hand. Right
You might
now.
be psychotic because like that's something the Joker would do. The Joker would be like, I just burned a children's hospital, and he's like, I just, like
the story is that he apparently suffers from schizophrenia or something like that. Yeah, so
I'm not with it. I don't think any real gangster can put together a melody. Like to me, like 50 Cent might be able to beat somebody up like real bad, or like might shoot somebody, but at the end of the day, like you still by default, if you end up being like a rapper or making 21 Questions, you're like all thugs can have hearts and stuff, but like at the end of the day, you're not really gang banging. So
you're saying that anybody that can hold a melody can't kill anyone?
Well, they're talking not they can hold the melodies. I mean, okay, like they did a whole news report on like what's the Mexican gangs? Something.
MS-13?
MS-13. They talked
it's
about like
Salvadorian gang, I think.
Yeah, they like, I think it's like, I don't know, but more Colombians or something. Like they
Salvadorian.
have Salvadorian. So like they have they sing melodies and they do trap music, and they actually kill people. It's like males and females, but it's very underground just to let other people know that they're coming. It's more communicative. But I'm like, still at the end of the day, like you never watched like a Scarface movie, or like you've never watched a documentary and they're like, in between time, Italian mobster Blase Blah would hit the studio in between killings. And it's like, I don't know. I can't take you seriously if you're like making a song like that and tell me you killed somebody. It takes away your credibility and your hardcoreness as a gangster. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
His video makes the song even funnier.
That guy just sounds like he gives away great hugs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He definitely doesn't look like he gives good hugs. He looks like he smells.
I don't know.
And he hasn't washed his head in days.
Yeah.
So I brought that up to...
The house is burning.
On fire?
Yeah, basically it's
Should
on
we
fire.
Not be concerned?
I don't know. I just feel like the show must go on.
It's like that dog. The
house is burning.
This is fine.
Take
a sip of my coffee.
I hope you guys are enjoying.
That brings me to a little segment that I wanted to do real quick.
Okay.
Called
Do You Love Bananas?
White Man. No, that's coming later.
Oh, Jesus.
White Man reads Tekashi lyrics.
Oh, my God.
I'm here typing on Google, White Man reads. Okay, hold on.
Is this an actual thing?
It is now.
Oh, my God.
Because I was listening to a song yesterday or 2 days ago that one of the kids that I work with listens to.
Yeah.
And I found the lyrics pretty funny. And you know what? I don't remember the name of the song, but I was going to do a different one, but we can go with Tekashi.
Okay.
Because he's the most popular one.
It should be interesting. So are you going to like send me the lyrics or something?
I'm going to pull it up here and you're going to read it in the whitest voice you can possibly do.
Okay.
And see how it comes out. And if people like it, we will continue.
Damn, I feel like I'm not going to do it justice because I don't know some of his melodies. It
doesn't matter. That makes it even funnier. You don't need the lyrics. Apparently, this was produced by Scott Storch.
Oh. So it's partially white.
Yeah. Well, he speaks on instrumentals.
Nice.
Okay. How do we do this?
You can either
Should
put
I
it
just
up.
turn it around?
You could turn it around or put it up there. It's up to you.
Oh, let's do that. Bring it up on the screen.
Let's do it.
Okay. So the song is called
Can you enlarge this, please?
Wando or Wando.
Can you like zoom in on it, like double click or something?
Can I?
I don't know. I thought you can like zoom like that.
I'm not gonna zoom like this. So
So
let's
you
see
like
how this
zoom.
goes.
So in the meantime, in between time, now like Tekashi, now I think about all that stuff, I'm just like, again, I won't even say a waste of talent. It's just like he's a young guy, so it's just like you wasted your life. You could have been on top. You can again, but he's somebody that like actually sang in Gangbang, and it's just like to me, it still doesn't make sense. It's like no credibility. Okay, let's just.
Can you read that?
I'll zoom into it. So whitest voice possible.
Yeah. Like your Richard Roger voice.
Okay.
And go.
Shorty, don't you clap back the dick. Hey.
Don't read the ad-libs.
Don't clap back on the dick. Bitch, when I hit that, do a split. When I hit that, I can't read. See, I have like, this is like when you're like at
you have glasses
I
on.
know, that's the worst thing. Because the thing is, from my side, I have the reflection of the light. Plus, like, it's mad glossy.
Glossy.
You're going to bring it up in notes or something?
Yeah.
So it's like, I know. I keep food.
We're going to run this back.
Oh, see, it looks like he said, I keep food on me.
Notes are even smaller.
I know. I don't know why they'd be so small on there.
It's a huge freaking screen.
Yeah, I know. All right, just go back to the other one. People right now are like listening. They're like, this is boring.
Can't even enlarge.
You can't even enlarge it.
Stupid Macs. Can't even do anything.
It's
I
alright.
don't even have Microsoft Word.
Shorty, don't clap back.
No, that's even smaller. Let's start over. Run it back.
Here we go. Shorty, don't clap back on the dick. Don't clap back on the dick. Bitch, when I hit that, do a split. When I hit that, do a trick. Shorty, don't clap back on the dick. Don't clap back on the dick. Bitch, when I hit or do a split. When I hit that, do a trick. I know what? You know I tool on me?
No, I keep
You
a tool, Richard.
know I keep a tool on me. I come in the room. I might have to move on. What? What's that last word? I am?
On him, man. On him.
Damn,
So
I can't
blind.
see. I know. Scoop with a zoom. Fuck around and boom, homie. I stay with a broom on me.
What? A broom?
That's what it says.
For what?
I stay
You
with a
sweep?
broom on me. I like to sweep. Better move, homie. For you found homie.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm done. That was embarrassing.
That didn't go as good as I thought it would.
No,
go.
it's horrible.
So that was a white 6ix9ine, everybody.
Dude. I know I'm white, but
The
we
Joker.
have my friend GT. He would have killed that because we used to call him, what was his nickname?
Wasp
Peterson.
Wasp Peterson.
He would go into this voice and
white Anglo-Saxon Protestant or something.
Yeah, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant voice. He was very
He's very good at that.
very good at that. Sounds like he's wearing a sweater vest every day.
Mr. Rogers style.
Yeah, exactly. Ned Flanders, holla back.
Ned Flanders. Ooh, ooh. So, one of the reasons why I brought this up is because I wanted to see if maybe we can go into a little more on the creative side for
Okay.
us.
Gotcha.
Since we've released one song
Okay.
and we're on our way to release another song, and
Yes.
possibly a third in about a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see if we can break down our gangster lyrics
That's cool.
about killing people and walking around with brooms.
That's what we do.
Yeah, man. So, do you have your lyrics for Resonate?
Yeah.
So we released Resonate on the 12th of February. So it's been circulating for 2 weeks or so, almost 3.
Just about.
And we've been getting good reviews on it, good feedback. So, and the thing with us is that we've been, at least in the last 2 to 3 years, we've been trying to find a balance of commercial and simple yet complex lyrics.
Man.
Meaning that we've been trying to not dumb our stuff down, but make our stuff more digestible to the average listener.
Yeah.
Plus, have the lyrics a little more complex for those that actually enjoy lyrics.
Yeah, basically, Jay and I, we have this saying, we like to put the pill in the applesauce. And it's basically like when your grandfather or your child is being stubborn, sometimes you got to put medicine in their juice box. You got to put pill in something sweeter. So we kind of like use modern trap drums or things that are commercially acceptable, and we still put like our spin on it. So like we love to still have very conscious raps. We like to have, topics about love, topics about life, topics about relationships and experiences that we might have, and like we combine them. So so we've been dumbing down is like I guess like a bad term.
It sounds negative.
So we simplifying. We're definitely simplifying our ideas and our subjects for the masses. So
but yet not selling out at the same time, because I feel like if you are the average music listener, you at least enjoy the production and maybe the melodies and flows. So we've been doing a lot of melodic stuff.
That's always hard for everybody to love everything as a whole, and even if they think they love everything as a whole, a lot of times people don't pay attention to the subject. They listen to the beat, or they don't like the beat, but they're like, oh, I love that the subject was so tough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's hard to catch everything.
Yeah, man. So we've come to terms with the idea that we will not satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
But especially with this new track that we just about to wrap up, because it's a little more aggressive than people are accustomed to listening to from us. But
it's
the lyrical content is on there.
It's called The Garden, and basically it's really...
No, we're not going to talk about that yet.
Okay.
We'll talk about it when we release it.
Okay.
But Resonate, I wanted to talk about Resonate.
Gotcha.
So Resonate's been circulating for a couple weeks. And for those that don't dive into the lyrics or don't care to ask for the lyrics, because a couple people ask for the lyrics, but we haven't put them up yet. But we've been so busy with everything. But
I feel like this one is very straightforward. Like, I'd be surprised if anybody had trouble to understand what's going on. But,
Well, I guess the rap verses are always a little more complex.
Okay.
Especially
what you saying though?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Because I feel like singing stuff is more easily digestible because it's
melodic.
Right. It's melodic. Number one. Number two, there's not a lot of words going on, especially in this song. Because what carries the whole verse is the melodies. And so the words are easier to understand.
There was actually an interview with what's his name? Who's the other guy from Canada? Super popular.
Bieber?
No. He had also a hair transplant. He does a lot of Jamaican and R&B. Tory Lanez.
Like, how do you refer to Tory Lanez as the other guy that got a hair transplant?
Yeah. So,
who was the first one?
Yeah, I guess he was the first. No, I thought Safari was the first one.
He did.
Yeah, see?
I think they did it around the same time.
Bro. I'm up on game, so.
I think they did it at the same time.
Tory Lanez was having an interview, and he said, like, most people don't really care about what's going on. They just live for the melody. They don't care about lyrics, so.
Yeah. But we as creatives take pride in constructing complex verses with really good topics and really good concepts.
Yeah. No, the reason that nobody cares anymore is because
there's so much shit going on.
Yeah, it's easier for other people that don't care or not good at doing those things to get in. Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. So, and I guess that's another reason why I asked you to read the 6ix9ine lyrics, because it's like, what is he saying?
He's not saying anything.
Exactly, but people gravitate towards it, which is weird.
It doesn't matter. It's like I could yell at somebody and it's like, okay.
It's literally here at the end of the song. It says DVDs, porno tapes. Hey, DVDs, porno tapes. DVDs, porno tapes. Do you beat your meat to a porno tape? Hey.
People buy it.
This is lyrics.
And you guys are buying it. Congratulations. You played yourself.
So, long story short, let's go into breaking it down. How did we start the creative process?
Basically, I started the beat one night. The funny part about it, it was kind of like, it was a 4/4 beat. If people know about, music theory and stuff like that.
Speak in layman's terms.
All right, so the beat was just like, it go if a beat was going boom, 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 like it was in a 4 measure. The thing is, I just had the clap not hit on where the clap usually hits on the second like loop of the rhythm. I don't know, it just had a vibe. I put a swing on it. I got really nice chords, and usually with a beat, in the studio I have these different colors behind me. So like I was on a blue vibe, and like they call it synesthesia when you kind of like associate colors with the music that you hear. So like I saw a lot of blue in this track, and it being blue as well, I felt like it had a sad vibe to me, even though it was dope. Like it sounds very swaggy, but also sad. So I was cinematically piecing it in my mind, and usually I export the beat and I'll have melodies come to mind, and sometimes through the mumbling or the melodies, like it's funny, it's just like your conscience working, I feel. So like I was like na 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 na, and like I heard like it was like da 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 da. So like sometimes I work as an artist off of like, if I hear da 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 da, like to me that da 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 is 3 syllables worth. So like I've turned that melody into a word. So it'd be like it was like, tell me, does it resonate? You know what I'm saying? So like that's how I slowly piece it together. And then like the main word of the whole song was resonate, and I started building off of that concept. So music and like sound that usually resonate off walls or through this or that. So I kind of like took that concept and I made it into the perspective of somebody that's hurt somebody else. Like if you've been somebody in a relationship where you've done done an injustice to your partner, or you've been the one to cheat, or you've just like haven't been giving the person attention, it's kind of like from that perspective, and like you're asking the person like, does all the hurt that I've given you like resonate within your mind? Does it resonate within your heart? So like that's basically the concept, and I'll let Jay explain. Like we were coming up with ideas for a video already. So it was more like all those, we had different images, and like I don't know if you guys peeped the project cover or the kind of single artwork, but it's kind of like a picture of a moon over an ocean. And to me, that was it. It was like very nighttime vibes, very blue. And I think that it matched the concept and everything else really well. So,
So go into the breakdown of your verse real quick, because that's basically what I asked in the beginning.
Okay. So I was like, no, you told me how did the vibe come along? So I was like, for resonate, the first lines are, I know you, tell me to die, as I'll do for all these lies. So I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Like, in my head, I had the girl or the person in the relationship. Like I'm saying, like, I know you tell me to die, like, or like you're telling me to go to hell, and I feel like I will for all these lies that I've given you. Can you take on my sins? Given up. Like I've given up on trying to cover up my wrongs. I'm just like can you live with my sins being in the relationship, like whether I was cheating or just doing us wrong? And I said, I leave you hopeless, falling up. So like when I leave somebody hopeless, I feel like it's almost like you're dying already, and falling up is like you ascending into heaven, but like you're just dead. Like, you don't have anything to live for anymore. And then I said, I saw the deepest part of you given to the sacrifice. So what I'm trying to explain is, like, when somebody's really in love with you, they give you the deepest part of themselves, the most exposed part of themselves, the deepest part. And they sacrifice a lot to be with you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even they're dealing with your late nights out or this or that. That was explaining that part. And then it goes into the hook. It says, but tell me, does it resonate in your heart? My faults. So, like, does it continue to echo inside your body and your spirit how much I messed up? And, like, it's kind of like that idea, like, once you crinkle a perfect piece of paper, it's never what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? And then the last line for that, and I'll never forget the pain I placed within your eyes. So, you know, when you're encountering that moment when you break somebody's heart, there's like, you can like, you know, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. You can see that you just broke them, that all those things you spoke about, like having no hope, everything was perfect to them. Like, you were a great person, and you're just being like, okay, this is all the dirty things I did. So after that, I know it goes into your verse.
Yes, this is my verse.
Hope you guys.
So when I got this track, I think you already had the hook down, right?
Yes.
You had the hook down, and I think you had your verse done. And then you sent me a snippet of like some melodies that you came up with.
Yes.
Which I was a big fan of.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I was coming up with like rap flows.
Right. So I got the flows, and I was like, I kind of like the beginning of this. So I kind of went off that vibe of the flows, and I fit words to it exactly. So you send me something and literally like mumbling things.
Yeah.
And I go along to those particular flows and those mumbles, and I fit words to them exactly how I heard it.
Which I always find fascinating, because I'm like, Jay literally doesn't leave out any type of melody or like syllable from the melody. He just like, he really puts every word to it.
And I was a huge fan of it, and I think I mentioned in either the last episode or the episode before, I was having a difficult time because when I write things, I have this inner voice reciting it back to me, right? So when I'm reciting my verse and when I'm finally done, I recite it to myself, and I'm like, yeah, it sounds perfect. But then when you do it out loud, that's like a different story, because you have to control your breath, control your delivery, and then sometimes that throws you off, and you have to adjust your verse according to how your breath goes. It's a little complicated with writing and stuff like that, but
it's very true though. Like I've noticed that.
So with this song in particular, I was having a difficult time with the drums that you had mentioned earlier, because the drum pattern was a little different from what I was accustomed to, because they would kind of go off a little bit.
Well, that's the thing, is like I told you, like the clap is on the 1 in the beginning, but then it's like on the 2 towards the end.
So that kind of threw me off a little bit. So when I was reciting the verse, I loved the lyrics so much that I was determined to catch it exactly how I imagined it. So when I was reciting it, I was having a difficult time staying in pocket and not sounding off beat, because that's one of my pet peeves, of hearing a song and seeing how hard we go at trying to be on point with the delivery of lyrics, and when we hear somebody that's off beat. I'm not gonna mention any names. Tatiana.
No, we always discuss that. There's like people really going hard out here.
Yeah, it's like it makes no sense, and people gravitate towards it, but it is what it is, you know. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, so with my verse, I go on to say, living with the best of you, heart bigger, the smart thinker to invest in you. I'm hard headed and skulls thicker. So basically. And also another thing that I do with my verses recently is that I try to make it more relatable, in the sense that I'm talking to a particular person, and I don't make it gender was what I'm looking for. Gender specific. So this can go to anybody, whatever gender you are.
Break it down, like go a little slower on the first line one more time.
I was going to go into that. So this isn't gender specific, so it can be relatable to anybody. So I'm not saying her or him or whatever it is that you go by. So the first opening lines is, living with the best of you, heart bigger, the smart thinker to invest in you. I'm hard-headed and skulls thicker. So basically, I'm with this person, and obviously we're going through our little conflicts. So when I say I'm hard-headed and skulls thicker is because I've spent all this time investing myself into somebody that I didn't feel like it was going anywhere. But at the same time, I'm living with the best of you. So we had our good times, and my heart got bigger. But as the smart thinker, as I invested in you, I feel like I'm hard-headed. So that's where that conflict is. You love this person so much, but it's hard to let them go, basically. So I go on to say Armageddon love. Armageddon love, egos got much bigger. Me walking on thin ice, her walls thicker. So Armageddon love is basically what it sounds like. It's like a toxic explosion of love, where it's like you love and hate just as hard. So, and then the egos get much bigger. Obviously, when you get comfortable with somebody, you tend to kind of cross those lines sometimes.
This is like a resentment stage.
Right. So the egos get bigger. So rather than, apologizing, especially during conflicts, rather than apologizing, you swallow your pride. The egos get much bigger. And then basically me walking on thin ice is basically what it sounds like. You walking on thin ice, you are conscious and kind of safe with the words that you're using during a conflict. And wall sticker is basically when somebody puts that guard up, basically. So so the plot thickens, the moon rises, the moon shining on her bare body. Now who's vibing? Smooth timing, but see something's off. Can you chime in? I hear silence and see nothing but the blue horizon as she drifts off. So the concept that we both came up with for the end my verse is basically somebody that's going through a tough time in a relationship, and I'm reciting to her like, listen, this is what's going on, this is what happened, and this is the route that we're going. And then the other person on the receiving end is having a tough time processing this. And when we mentioned the whole blues, and that's the vibe that you were going with on the song, we kind of imagined somebody that was having a difficult time processing this and kind of just basically in the middle of nowhere, maybe on a beach or something like that, and kind of just like decompressing, or maybe taking the extreme route and, ending their life. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those interpret the endings as you wish.
Yeah, because we go on to words like I come back in after Jay's verse and I say drift on. Oceans of tears you've cried, made to drift on. So I feel like you've made this person cry so much that now they have an ocean of their tears that like almost like they either drown themselves on or they drift away from you on. Like, because it's like, between land and home and stuff like that, we have oceans, we have water, and water at the same time kind of like water can be healing, and water also like, I don't know if you guys listen to like Jay-Z and Frank Ocean on Watch the Throne. They had what was this song called? It left my mind, but they basically talk about how water always regenerates itself, always cleans itself. So for me, like when somebody cries or this or that, that's like your body. It can't take.
You only oceans.
No, you have like a threshold of pain. So like
the song's called Oceans.
It's called Oceans. So basically, they're talking about like it's very metaphorical. But with that line, I'm like, yeah, oceans you've cried, or the tears you've cried are oceans you can drift on. So basically, that person floats away on their own pain. Like you're not even there for them anymore. And then I said, the moon's light on the tide, kind of directs you. And that's something where the moonlight, at that point, it's the only thing that's lighting up your life. It's the only thing that's lighting up the scenario, even though it's dark around you. So kind of same concept, even if you're surrounded by darkness, you light a match, that match lights up the room. And it's the same thing with the moon. It kind of like saying you went from hopeless to just follow that path if you see it. And sometimes you have to be in an ocean. You don't know what's about to happen. And that's like the whole concept of the track, because we go back into I guess the hook, the repetitive part of that. It's basically simple, but that's the idea of resonate.
Sounds simple, but
yeah,
there might be things that go over people's heads when we break it down.
But we will be coming out with visuals, so like everything we're talking about, you guys will have, a visual perspective and something to enjoy on that end.
Yes, sir. So that is Resonate.
Yes.
Go over to your music streaming service.
Yes.
And stream that or purchase it if you can.
We are on Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. A lot of the times, if you guys hear our song somewhere, you can always Shazam it. That's another great feature we have. And right now, if you want to show love to us, please hop onto your Instagram stories, and you guys can look up our music. If you guys type in Benatton, which is Benatton, you guys see it in the corner of our screen all the time. Type in Benatton, you'll see songs like ours called Elevated come up. You'll actually see Resonate come up. And if you guys can tag us at Benatton Music while having our music playing, or like if you're listening to it in your car on the way to work or wherever you're going, please give us a shout out. Like, we just want to spread awareness about our music. That's what we strive for at the end of the day. So,
amen.
Yeah.
So, I want to go on to a topic about something that really grinds my gears.
What's that?
So, going past the music,
okay,
I want to talk about photography.
Let's do it.
And how stupid people are.
Especially when they add filters to your photos.
How oblivious they are to what is going on their timelines.
Soon we're going to have to break it down to the psychology of why most people are stupid.
And how people choose to ignore the fact that you as a family member do something exceptionally well. And you as a professional in a particular profession go above and beyond for your customers.
You know what it is? Most people don't pay. We work in very detail-oriented jobs, and most people are oblivious to detail. Some people could be in the same room as somebody they know, and those are the type of the people that just don't take that extra 2 turnarounds to see who's in the room, and they don't pay attention.
It's not even that. I'll get even worse.
Okay.
Actual family members.
Okay.
And if you're watching this, you know who you are. You're probably not watching it.
No, because they're
considering
oblivious.
where I'm going with this.
Oblivious.
Actual family members know what we do as a profession. And it sucks that it's great too that your friends support you more than actual family members. And that's sad to me. But I appreciate
it happens.
All my friends that support me.
Yes.
And everything that we do.
Because this is not hard. A lot of people, this is not easy. I said this is very difficult. When you are self-employed.
We picked the worst. Not the worst in the sense that it's a terrible job to do, but we've picked the most difficult jobs
in the industry
to monetize
off of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, a family member posts something on their Instagram looking for recommendations for wedding photographers.
Ouch.
I legit put the hand emoji like,
hi,
hello,
waving.
And then I'm breaking it down where they're asking me questions like, oh, we need 4 people there. I'm like, my G, we don't show up with less than 4 people.
I always come through with the team.
And our turnaround is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's people that don't get photos or videos 6 months. We do what, like a month, maybe 3 weeks?
We do almost like the longest we've ever taken, I think, is 2 to 3 months because we've already been busy with taking care of several clients. But
and it's not even because of the photos. It was more because of the video.
Yeah.
Because we will work on it together.
We really like to put together something cinematic, something emotional between the music and everything else, like the cuts. But that's besides the point. Like I was talking to another client about weddings, and I said, unfortunately, we usually get third people in the family that are tired of getting really bad photographers, because these bad photographers are messing it up for great photographers in general, right? Because these bad photographers, you get people on their Virgin wallet. Their Virgin wallet says, yes, I'll pay $10,000 for your photos, right? And then it comes to people like us, you know, who actually get the job done, because these other people hire these people. Horrific photos, a lot of duplicates, doesn't capture the essence of the moments of the day. None of this. Doesn't group people together, doesn't
go the extra mile.
Doesn't go the extra mile. They don't give packages the way we do, like where you have teams of 2 videographers, 2 photographers, drones. We have, 4K quality. We have everything.
We edit a ton of photos.
Anything you could imagine, right? So the crap photographer gets $10,000. Then they come to us, and we usually have our asking price, which is a little below $10,000, because it's still a wedding. This is one time, I mean, for some people it's not one time, but it's a very important ceremony for a lot of people. Very important.
I think it was more also that this was one of our first few actual gigs, and we're still trying to kind of prove ourselves. So we don't want to highball it yet, but since that day, we've jacked up the prices quite a bit.
Yeah, and the thing is, because we're giving people quality, the playback value to other people and how they can present it to everybody they love, that's what's most important. And the thing is, I have a lot of discussions with, I would say, my mentors, and they're always like, what are you doing? Like, how are you supposed to make a living when you're not, setting your price to what you do?
Right.
Because I see the quote unquote professionals that everybody has hype around the name, because they've respectfully been doing it for a minute, but it doesn't mean that they have a super dope style all the time. Like, they do it by the book, but we're really giving somebody, the people, our clients, something different. So
then it puts a lot of pressure on us too, because it's like, in particular, the last wedding we worked, I was working with so like you had mentioned, is one photographer, one videographer goes with, well, you haven't mentioned it yet, but we have two photographers, 2 videographers, and then we split the team up with the girls and with the groomsmen.
Yeah, we want full coverage of the wedding the whole day.
So once they're getting ready, the whole process of the getting themselves together for the day, right? So I was with Sam, who we mentioned a couple episodes ago. He was doing he was lead photographer, and I was doing video.
No, I was lead photographer.
Well, in that room,
there was no other photographer.
So again, the pressure is on us, because this family had a shitty photographer who charged a ton of money
first time around
for crappy photos. For a different family member.
Yeah, different family, but their first wedding that they ever had within the family.
Right.
That's what it was.
So this guy put a sour taste in their mouth, basically. So as I'm in the room, I'm with the guys, and one of the guys, very outgoing individual, goes, don't give us no shit photos. And I'm like, okay, that's not what we're here to do.
Yeah. Because it's like, you can't even, on a professional level, it's not even in our character to respond to anything like that. But at the same time, like, what are you going to say? Like, because anybody is going to tell them before, oh, yeah, we're the greatest.
Right. So then he goes on to explain the whole situation where they paid a ton of money for this photographer. He got shitty photos, to the point where he was like, we had to whip out our iPhones and take photos. Yeah. Because we didn't get any photos with family members, yada yada. So,
which most photographers that buy a camera end up looking like they shot it on an iPhone.
Right. So we don't want to toot our own horns, but we're gonna toot our own horns.
That's it, man.
I'm gonna toot our own horns.
Yeah, no, pull the trigger when you have to.
But us as creatives, we feel we're not just taking photos. Like, we want people to be amazed by the product that we give them, because at the end of the day, that's what they're going to look back on. And if you give them shit quality, they're going to have shit memories of that particular day. You know what I mean?
No, we try to, both Jay and I try to say everything as humbly as possible, but sometimes you have to give yourself credit, because we've been in the game, and I feel like whether it's music, photography, or anything else, we've always been underrated. We've always have, people within other fields and our field, they just, they're not trying to put us as first choice. And that comes with competitive nature. That comes with the weird politics in this game. It just comes with envy and everything else that you could have mentioned that could be negative, or, same thing with these people. Like, some people neglect to give people attention, and, you end up in a situation where you have to, tell a family member, oh, do you remember that I shoot or this or that? You know what I'm saying? So,
and again, I didn't mean it as disrespect, but it just like bugs me that people know what I do, unless you're living on the rock.
Yeah,
even people that live under a goddamn rock know what the fuck I do.
We promote it every day. We promote our music equally. We promote, and we do it, not in a very confusing way. Like, we have a page for photography, we have a page for music, and we have our individual pages that, yes, incorporate all three of those, but we're still, with all of our posts, we're directing the idea of like, okay, this is for Reception Podcast. This is for One Eye Photography. This is for our Benatton apparel clothing. And this is for, Benatton music. And that's the thing. Shout out to Idris Elba. Like, everybody should have an Idris Elba challenge where it's like you're good at everything that you touch, everything that you do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm liking that guy. I think I posted it yesterday. I'm liking that guy more and more as the days go by.
Exactly. I put a post up the other day. I said, I'm going to kill everything I do in my own lane. I'm going to kill everything I do in your lane, no matter what you do. If you're a chef and I feel like taking up cooking, I'm going to challenge you, even in your own field. I don't care how long you've been doing it. If I'm passionate about it and I respect the game, you better come in knowing that I'm going to be a competitor. You know what I'm saying?
You can do the whole chef thing. I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
I froze up when I cook in front of my dad. It's like a drill sergeant. And he's not even doing it on purpose. He's just like looking over my shoe, like just even having a conversation while I'm whipping up some eggs. The easiest thing you could possibly cook, and I'm like freaking out.
Yeah, but I mean, your dad, like, I think he's the type that we all had to start somewhere. So I think he would respect that you even approach it.
But he's not even telling me anything. I'm just like freaking out because he's a chef, and
it's like a child. But a child has to mess up, or like they have to fall to learn how to walk. So it's like,
no. But what I'm saying is, it's fucking eggs. The easiest thing you could possibly do, and I'm doing things that I don't normally do because he's watching me.
Gotcha.
So it's like you're using a pan, right? And I typically use like one of those, what would you call those things? Like, it's kind of like the ones with like
a whisk,
the rubber
spatula.
Tip. So it's like a rubber spatula.
Okay.
That's usually what I whip up my eggs with, because you can't use a metal thing to like what'd you call those pans with the black?
Oh, like a Teflon pan?
Right.
Like a nonstick.
And that day I'm using a fucking fork. And he's like, you can't use a fork on this. I'm like, no, I normally don't do this.
You know
what?
Okay. It's the same kind of like, you're supposed to be a professional vintage like mover of antiques, and you like scratch everything. That's like the same.
On the only day you scratch something is like right in front of the owner.
But you know what that is? Oh my God. It's funny you say that, because it's like, I feel it's like that. You know how we talk up game right now where we're like, I'm the best photographer, this, and that. And it'll be that one moment you're in front of a client that's like super well known, and you know what I'm saying? And
you fuck up.
And you
forget to adjust the ISO.
Yeah, you something like that, and each thing comes overexposed. So I definitely understand those sentiments.
So I don't know how we got there. What were we just talking about?
Everything. I mean, you were just saying that.
Oh, the whole photography thing.
Again, it's like a lot of the time we have to prove ourselves, even though it should be evident to what we do by this time. Again, if you see your friend painting on his Instagram for the past 13 years, and then you have somebody that's very close to that person ask, is there anybody out there that paints? It's that same frustration of like, are you kidding?
And that's the funny thing, because it's like, I feel like I go as a creative, I understand where that how that feels. So whenever I can go out to a show and support somebody, I do it.
100.
Even though I don't do it as often as I should, because we're always so super busy, but I know what it feels like. Yeah. Or if somebody's selling merch or somebody is selling some kind of service, I try to, one of my boys owns an auto body shop. I don't go anywhere else but there now to get even the smallest like oil change or whatever. So, it's just supporting your friends, supporting small businesses, because if you don't get the support from your family and friends, who are really going to support you?
And I put a post up today. I said, stop being jealous of people in their winning season. You don't know what they lost in their losing season. And it's basically like when the cameras are not rolling, we're going through hell. It's tough to get bookings. It's hard for people to actually, it's an honor when people give us the chance to shoot their wedding. You know what I'm saying? It's a big task at hand. It's a lot of responsibility. And we love that people, come to us to encapsulate that day and capture the vision. And, to get deposits, for people to come through, and it's hard to make a living in general, in these industries that we've chosen. So again, everything is always welcome, and it's always a very humbling experience. So I said, sympathy and empathy, if you guys can gravitate to those emotions more often, I think that should be the wave. I said that to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? If you have sympathy and empathy, sometimes you can put yourself in people's shoes for a split second and realize, none of this is easy. If I see a ballet dancer, I know they're putting in a lot of training time to do what they do. If you guys see a break dancer, if you see a DJ, and they're really good at what they do, they're putting in a lot of time. They've sacrificed a lot of things in their lives to be who they are and accomplish what they're doing right now. And it's not overnight. It never is with any of these people. And if it is, some people can adapt quicker than others. But again, appreciate your craft, appreciate others' crafts, and, always know that there's room for all of us, and that you can learn so much from other people instead of hiding secrets. Because if you're good enough, you're always going to end up in the same room as somebody else at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hate people.
I feel you, man. It's so frustrating. And I don't think it ever, you're like, I've asked people if they know Drake overseas sometimes. They don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? For me, that could be frustrating, because it's like in America or other places, you've put in a lot of hard work to be the best. But then some other people in other places don't care, don't mind to find out who you are, this or that. So there's always going to be that challenge. Like, we all want to be Instagram makes us feel famous in our minds.
I hate Instagram.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things.
So much.
It's a very competitive, it's a very shallow market. And if you are somebody that has depth to themselves, from a business standpoint, I know if you guys are tuning in, if you're listening right now, you understand those frustrations that Jay is expressing, or that I've expressed in the past. So, a lot of times I got to also be grateful for, when Jay's feeling frustrated like that, or I feel frustrated, I'm going on my rants, we have each other to be like, listen, we got bigger fish to fry,
Fuck these people.
That's it.
They don't know your worth, King.
They don't know. And these things are also very parallel with what we spoke about in the beginning of the podcast, where you have Black culture, where it's like Black culture gave us so much. Everybody lives and breathes Black culture in some type of way or form every day without you realizing it. And at the same time, one thing goes wrong, and you rather give that stigma to that whole community, that whole part of our species, to say that, okay, now you fucked up. That's that. You get that award. You get the fucked up award, but you don't get the, you helped to put this together or contributed, And I think it's stupid for anybody, anything, Well, who was it? Was it Tom Cruise? Or like Spike Lee just won.
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee just won a Grammy. Was it Tom Cruise? No, it was
Oscar.
No, not the the Oscar, the Academy. Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Leo is, I know, one of Jay's favorite actors, but we all know he's a great actor. Why did he have to wait so long compared to other people that might have not have been even in par?
I never understood the Oscars. Like, everybody that wins, I've never even heard of, like the movie or whatever it is.
But this is that same energy and spirit that neglects you for your greatness that is running that type of show. They have no clue what real talent is. They just go based off of popularity and polls. So again, when something is great or a hit on the radio, we're all being programmed to make stupid things because you never know what a hit's going to be. Mm-hmm. You know, you never know what's going to take over and be the vibe. I think a lot of people just have to be true to themselves. And to me, like, that brings the color the world never seen.
Mm-hmm. So just to end this real quick, you know what the thing that pops into my head whenever I see somebody like overlooking us and then they go with person B or group B to get, let's say, photos, right? Yeah. They overlook us for a wedding or something. Yeah. They go with the cheaper option. Mm-hmm. So they get cheaper quality, right? Okay. Shittier quality. When you see the final product, you ever watch Black Panther?
Yes.
When Killmonger comes to the end and he goes, "Is this your king?"
That's how you feel.
Every time I look at the photo, that's what runs through my head. Is this your king? Are you happy?
I also had a discussion with my mentor about this, and we were discussing that most people, unfortunately, like, they do care for quality, but only to a certain extent. Like, people understand a standard of quality to a certain extent, and then it stops past our knowledge of what quality is within the big spectrum of things. So
people are used to like a certain bar.
Yeah, people are used to a certain bar, and if you surpass that bar, it's so
the quality so over blowing.
It's kind of like they have no reference or understanding of the quality you're showing them, or it's kind of like, it's weird. Like, you can have a nice camera, and have you ever seen, like, you shoot something and you show somebody, they're like, wow, that's really cinematic. Mm-hmm. How do you know that's, like, by default that's cinematic? There's something that people could relate to. Mm-hmm. So it comes down to, if you surpass that and you're just like, this is 8K, can you tell that it's raw, and you start going into all those forms, that's not going there, because you'll have the old lady or the old man at the wedding that's like, look at my phone. You see how it has a blurry background too? I can do that. And then
meanwhile, the portrait mode on the iPhone like blurs out the corner of the subject, and it's just like stupid.
So when they're not paying attention that their phone, if they were to blow that picture up, you lose quality because of compression and bit depth and this and that. People have no understanding of that. And then in a sense, they don't know what they're doing, but by default, they're already degrading or lessening the value of your work. And again, we live in a very competitive market. People, what's one of the biggest names in fast food?
McDonald's.
Okay. Is that good for you?
No.
Is it quality?
No.
Is it successful?
Absolutely.
There you go. So this is what I get to all the time. Mm-hmm. Within the market, when I said people don't care for quality. Oh, here we go again.
Breaking shit, man. You beat me to the food reference, because I was trying to make a food reference before you made it to it.
Yeah, but that's what it is. And, you know, he basically told me, you're already in a mindset and people are gravitating towards you because you have a certain standard of quality yourself. Mm-hmm. They don't understand it. They're just attracted to it for some reason. Mm-hmm. You don't always understand what you're attracted to. Relationships, just think about those in general. So when you enter this world, you're just like, okay, you're still going to do a great job, but you shouldn't be going as far as you are sometimes, because you're adding on extra work for yourself when somebody was ready to receive it at stage one. Your friend and our friend, Santi, I was very meticulous with editing his engagement shots, and he'll be fine with me sharing this. I said, did you like the edits? He's like, honestly, I love the raws that you gave me. So for me, that gave me perspective on people love already how it's shot and composed, and they don't see the color differences and stuff like that. And what you've noticed from this past fashion week, Jay's very on par with what he does, and he's very meticulous, and he has a fine eye for detail, and I appreciate that about him. But I told him, take 2 steps back with this time, because he does this with me a lot musically and stuff like that, and I find it works to my advantage. And he did it, and the client was...
And my plan was to do that anyway, just so it could be more efficient.
That's it.
Where I don't go in, because I'm pretty efficient with everything that we do, especially during Fashion Week.
Yeah.
When I get the photos, I'm getting like 1,500 photos from one show. So I'm going through 1,500 photos, and within an hour and a half to 2 hours, I'm going through the best of the best, picking 2 to 3 best photos of each look, maybe 4, and putting them in a folder. Going through that folder one more time, which is like another 70 to 100 photos that I've broken down from 1,500, and I'm going into each photo, rotating them, cropping them, adjusting some of the highlights, shadows, colors, blah blah blah, and I'm getting how many shows it was? Like 1, 2.
This is about
the second show had
3. 9 shows.
Right.
9
so
shows.
I did 9 shows.
Yeah.
So if you put all that together, it must be at least 8,000 photos, maybe 10,000 photos that I'm going through. And they'll pick 2 to 3 looks from each show, and we'll come up to a total of like 200 photos.
But see, you gave the people a standard that they're used to this time, and it was more receptive because by default they can associate.
And it was less work.
So for me, there is communities out there that appreciate great films, great actors, all those in between. But a lot of the times it's like with music, blockbusters, it's not the best dialogue that gets the most attention. There's so many films that have so much depth in the dialogue, and all the scripts are like so meticulous in the way that they were written. But then you have Men in Black, and that hits, and it's a blockbuster. And that's no shade to Men in Black, but it's so simple, man. Like, it's just action, it's funny lines, and this and that. And then when you have something that like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you watch that in 5 different languages, and the story changes for each time because of how it was written and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot more depth and detail. So nobody's alone.
A lot of big movies, I feel like, are really good at doing what we're doing with our music, where it's like, it's easy digestible for the average goer, but it's still complex enough for the person that's paying attention to detail to enjoy it and to appreciate it.
Because you have the guy that like sits on his couch all day watching movies that ends up being a critic or somebody that can actually write a review that can influence everybody's minds to the person that had to put up maybe a life savings for the movie. He had to work on this movie for the past 2 to 3 years. You had to make sure that every line and every sound bit and every stage lighting was set perfectly. Then you got to edit for another year, and then you got to make sure that everybody involved is credited and paid, and that you're going to make most of your money back for somebody to give you like a half-ass review on Rotten Tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? So like, people don't understand that because they're not involved. And this is where, again, sympathy and empathy is something where if something's like crappy and like the masses feel it, you can see it as a professional. Somebody that's average can see it. It's an energy that speaks. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes there's things in a formula, and it's because they're relatable or somebody else said it was good, that this catches on. You know what I'm saying? It becomes this thing. So again, I want to say, all you creators out there, all you artists, all you professionals, you're never alone. You know, you're not the only ones where your clients are adding, Instagram filters to your photos that you worked on for hours on end. And, they were giving you a hard time about the post-production, money that you were charging them. And then, there's people out there that, you're mixing their song for hours and they hit you with, I like it, I guess. So, there's a lot of things that will upset you and anger you, but just know, again, stay true, keep loving what you do, and there will be that one person, just like the loved ones in your life that you've come across, that will appreciate you for what you do and will recognize it, and their love alone will take your work to another level. So,
yes. Yeah. So, I want to switch the topic real quick.
Okay.
So, there's this guy I saw on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I think he lives in Texas.
Okay.
Looks like a white guy, but I think he might be Middle Eastern. What flag is that? The little tiny flag.
I wanted to say it either looks Indian or not maybe Turkish.
Let's say like Iran or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, so this guy on Twitter posted himself, I guess, reciting a 16 that he wrote.
Excuse me.
Yes. Bless you. And give him all the props in the world for putting this up in a public.
Yeah, I looked it up. He's
fashion.
Iranian.
Okay. So this guy posts something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going in. I'm going to play a little bit of it, and you guys be the judge of it.
Okay.
Because me as a hip-hop lover,
okay,
a fan of lyrics,
mm-hmm.
fan of flows,
mm-hmm.
I enjoy this kid.
Nice.
But the comment that I see somebody reposting, it goes, dog, every white person rap like Logic or Eminem. There's no in between.
Okay.
You're the in between.
I would say so.
And I feel this guy's the in between.
I always said as a white rapper, I've appreciated, not even when they first came out, but in the long run, you end up appreciating people like Eminem. On the first podcast, I spoke about Lee Harvey, which didn't sound like Eminem at all, or Logic.
Mm-hmm.
You have people like G-Eazy, which I don't know. I find that a lot of white rappers, I personally have a very nasally voice, but they have a very squeaky nasally voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that when I do rap, I like to have a smooth, more sensual, more swaggy, voice to my approach. So like I love rappers like Nas. I love rappers like Fabulous that like have that undeniable like you're cool type of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, as a white rapper, I always wanted to come into the game like that
mm-hmm.
and give that vibe rather than hi, my name is, you know what I'm saying? You just don't
mm-hmm.
want that. So
I mean, that brings me to 2 points. First point is breaking down this guy's comment.
Mm-hmm. First, it's a defensive thing where it's already a prejudice.
Yeah, and that's where I was going. So people are so quick to be negative about something. I bet you he didn't even listen to the whole thing. Number one. Mainly because I listened to the whole thing, and I'm trying to figure out where he sounds like Logic and where he sounds like Eminem.
Nah. Well, the thing is, the guy's like uneducated because first of all, he's Iranian, so he's like.
That's my point. First of all, he isn't white.
He has the flag right there.
Right. So he didn't even take the time to pay attention to detail. If you're going to speak negatively about somebody,
this is the same person that doesn't care to know that you're a photographer.
Do your homework. So, okay. So I'm going to play this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little under 2 minutes, but I'll play a little bit so you can get the point.
What's the name of the...
I think his name is... Hold on. On Twitter, he goes by Aria.
Okay.
Ariea.
Okay.
So this is what he sounds like. So off the jump, he tone-wise doesn't sound like him. Doesn't sound nasally.
No.
Has some bass in his voice. I thought he was from Patterson. Cause when it comes to the lyrics, best believe I've been a scary guy. When I'm around, they lean back like Remy Ma. That's just factual. All this rapping came natural. My growth has been gradual. By the time that I graduate, success is without aggregate. If I ain't even next, I'm a pretty good candidate. All I do is decapitate McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. I'm interstellar. And if you ain't my dog, I'll put you down like oh yella. Ain't no one top of me greatest. I gotta be walking. I gotta be during the game. So I got the riches a minute. You know that.
You know what? You know what's crazy to me too? That's super dope. But it's crazy when people make comments.
Hold on. I just love that flow when he switched it up after the fast flow. Hey.
No, what I was going to say is that people think that they're dissing somebody when there's like, oh, everybody sounds like Logic and Eminem. Those are two artists that are on top of the world. They have created some of the most crazy hits and bangers that everybody knows. Like, so you're already giving a compliment when you're thinking that you're trying to, you know, hit somebody sideways. I think that's whack. I think another thing is the beauty about our day and age and the great points of social media is that he has a voice, right? He's not insecure about his rapping voice. So in a sense, at the end of the day, somebody like Logic or whatever, you get a uniqueness, you get a different perspective. Like what I was saying is like nerd fashion of hip hop wasn't really popular back in the day because you had to conform to a certain standard. Now you have so many different perspectives on life and, you know, from artists' music that like there's people at Comic-Con that heavily bump Logic because he comes from that culture of nerdiness and appreciating anime and all these other things. So people can relate to that when maybe you couldn't do that with DMX back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you couldn't do that with Jay-Z. So I love the variety of different artists we come across and the different voices. And I think voices are really important because, you know, it's what makes Old Dirty Bastard Old Dirty Bastard. Like, I haven't heard another rapper like Old Dirty Bastard, like how like Mystical takes that James Brown type of vibe and makes it into a rapping voice that's like incredible. Or you have M.O.P., you have Busta Rhymes, you have whoever you want to go down the list, you know what I'm saying? And like new rappers like Kendrick Lamar is the perfect example of just an artist, a person comfortable with what they do, and he's created another standard of quality through what he's done.
Why doesn't he get compared to Eminem?
Because
I think with voice inflections and the way he recites his lyrics
100%.
Sometimes there's a lot of Eminem influences in there.
You have to
black.
Exactly. But
So.
the thing is, you have to study the greatest to be one of the best. And
you've had a lot of the thing I hate about this is that you have thousands of predecessors.
Yeah.
So you're bound to sound
100%.
somewhat like one of them.
Hip hop is based off of biting.
Right.
I'm not the first person to say it. There's
It's
so
not
many.
even biting. I feel like it's more emulating.
It's
The
emulating
people that you respect.
It's taking things that you like from any art form and building your own. Like,
right.
How many people look like the combination? How many Basquiats are out there that want to be a Basquiat in the art world? How many people want to be, you know, like the new age Picasso and all this other stuff, or Andy Warhol? Like, it's all about pop culture and like what was successful. And that's what we go off of. The industry that you see that's out there, like the Drakes and all that, it all comes from like, who does he big up all the time? He bigs up Bilal. He bigs up Little Brother. There's people that have been doing this for a long time, and there's a reason why they were successful. So it's like, you know, if you're in the stock market and you wear a 3-piece suit every day, or you wear a suit in general, it's part of the game. It's like, for you to get business, you have to understand your math. You have to be logical in your addition and your mathematics of how you're entering and taking risks. Like, there's a reason why things are successful and why things work to people's advantage. So like, if you're a guy, that guy has no clue about music, he just buys music, or he doesn't, I don't feel like somebody that made that comment has an appreciation for music at all. If not people, like, there's no respect there. So like, but again, he's going to end up at the top with his comment because it's like, again, trolling wins at the end of the day in 2019.
Because he got 18,000 retweets and 77,000 likes.
Yeah,
and the original post, which is the guy posted his stuff, 8,000 retweets to 39,000 likes.
For me, it's like what? Like,
which I feel the rap was way better than.
Yeah. What I wouldn't do for those numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if that guy.
Wait, hold up.
If that guy was
Especially
in my comments.
The guy at the beginning. Okay, never mind. He was shouting out his boy in the beginning.
If that guy ends up in my comments, it's like, wow, like at least you took a moment out of your day. When you think about that person has that much negativity to say, but he took the time to open up his, you know, his type, you know, his typing board, write all those letters, press enter and all that. You already have the honor of having that person's attention. It's like,
and that's the funny thing, is that people will go out of their way to leave a negative comment as opposed to digesting and appreciating anything. You know what I mean?
That's
misery loves company at the end of the day.
That's it.
Bet you this person can't write a dope 16.
No, he probably can't even write, period. He probably reads on a 3rd grade level.
I mean, in his defense, he did write a pretty good.
He wrote a good sentence.
Yeah, no typos or anything.
Right, that's cool. But it's not.
At least he got that going for him.
It's not even for us to judge the guy that was like he got too much attention for us to be talking about him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm more trying to highlight homie.
No, homie has talent.
I wish
it's undeniable.
I'm pronouncing it the right way. ARIEA _BASTAMI. Check him out.
Shout out to Summer Walker. Like she's been part of our gallery. She just got the remix for Girls Need Love 2 with Drake. Yeah, so
if she didn't get the recognition before, she's gonna get it now.
100%.
So I guess that's a great segue for that gallery. Yes. No tech talk today. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go straight into the gallery. Do you have anybody you want to highlight before I do?
There's an artist that I know of. He is incredibly talented. He came out to our show. I introduced you to him, I believe, for the first time. His name is Ashley Supreme. And Ashley Supreme has this very unique style of drawing and painting where he's created these characters. Like you can tell it's from his mind. It's very, like I said, unique in style. It does have a little bit of Japanese anime type of energy to it, but he takes it from people he's encountered in his life, or I can show you guys an example. Last Christmas, or the Christmas 2 years ago, he lost his mother. He's of Haitian descent. He's a very introverted but cool cat, very humble, and I hope to see him, selling his work in like huge galleries, because I really feel like he deserves it. So if you guys bear with me, I'll let Jay, give his 2 cents, and I'm going to show you guys this photo.
Yeah, when you mentioned the introvert part, when I met him, I kind of got those vibes. But I have seen the piece before, and super dope. And he has a vibe to it, you know what I mean? And I've seen him on Instagram too. I think he follows our individual pages and also the Benatton page. So
I got two pieces he printed for me. I don't know the names of the work, but if you guys could see this, I don't know if you guys could see that. That's one piece.
Let me check the camera. Please hold. Looks pretty good.
Cool. So for me, I was always like a big fan of like Zelda, and some of his characters look like the fairies or the spirits from that like Link encounters, which I love. I don't know who he based this off of. I don't know who this person is in his life. He always, again, it's somebody that's like motivated him or like had some type of importance in his life. But this one, I don't even know if this is the one that represented off of his mom or something, but it has a very heroic, and I don't know if you guys can see this one too. I just really love the work. There's like something, it's just super raw to it. And again, you guys can follow him. on Instagram. I'm going to bring it up for you, so there might be an underscore or something like that, but here we go. It's actually under Black and Blue, spelled as is Black and Blue _7, and it will come up as Ash Supreme. And again, he has all his characters. I think he's gotten into the world of digital rescanning and coloring in his photos. There's like a new vividness to his work. And just show him support. He'll send you prints. I don't know his pricing offhand. I just know what he priced his work for me. And I always thought it was more than reasonable. So I always show support when there's somebody that inspires me. And that is my gallery artist of the day.
Pow. So, moving on to mine. Hold on. My playlist is like 400 songs long, so it's hard to get to the bottom.
No, it's all good. I feel like I should keep that there, just like bam.
So there's two people or two things I want to shout out.
Gotcha.
One, like I usually do. One,
I'm just giving you a friendly reminder too, because for some reason I remember this from our last podcast, is that you want to give a shout out to Jacob Barreto, the hairstylist from Montclair.
I didn't?
No. You said you would go more into detail. I don't know. You said something like that, but we can say that again for whenever, but
I haven't edited the last one, so I don't know what I said.
Gotcha.
But I guess we can shout him out now. He's a dope hairstylist that I eventually want to go to. Just to, do a little ditty on my head.
Uh-oh. We're going to have to tell.
A little ditty, not a little duty. But yeah, he seems like a super positive dude. I don't know where we know him from. But
I hope Samuel's not listening.
Probably is, but I would never cheat on him like that. Barbers are like,
I know, they take it to heart.
Like worse than girlfriends.
No, I mean, but think about it.
No, cheating on your barber is worse than cheating on your girlfriend.
If you have somebody that comes to you for photos all the time and then they go for the dude that says, hey,
listen,
just got a new camera.
Listen, man, as long as the quality's there, I can't hate.
Okay.
Like that dude you sold our last camera to, I'm like.
So if your girlfriend goes with another dude and she said, yo,
hey,
you're like, the quality was there.
I can't really hate on it, right?
You can't really hate.
She's yours now, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I respect the quality. I like how you open that door.
If Young M.A. takes your girl, are you mad or no?
Oh, damn. I saw it happening.
I can't even be mad.
I can't even be mad.
Like you got it. You got it.
Especially when Young M.A. puts on the strap, it's like, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? That's like a play on words. That's what I'm saying. Once you put on the strap, it's a wrap.
That's it.
It's a wrap.
You should put on the strap for her and for you if you want to play.
Oh my God.
Hashtag get the strap.
Hashtag caught you sideways.
Yeah, I'm not fighting. I feel like Young M.A. could beat me up.
I don't know.
And take my girl at the same time.
What if you saw Idris Elba walking out your house with your mom?
I can't be mad at that.
You're not mad at it.
No.
Hashtag.
I wouldn't even be mad.
Terrible Reception Podcast. Hashtag can't be mad at it.
Can't be mad at it.
You know what I'm saying?
If it was like my mom walking out the house with like blue face, I'd be upset.
It's kind of, but sometimes it can be upsetting, just like that other guy from that other podcast mentioned. You're like, oh shoot, David Beckham's dating my mom. He's like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, but you just about
Elba
has
mad
like
at that?
He has more bass to his voice.
He does.
You know what's funny?
I'll play little footy.
Play little footy. That's how he talks. The funny thing is that I have a group chat with a couple of my friends, right?
Yeah.
And on GroupMe, when GroupMe was popping,
yes.
So you have the ability of changing the default photo, right?
Gotcha.
So around the time we had that group chat was around that time. I don't know if you noticed a couple years ago. Idris Elba had like a photo of his pee-pee.
Oh no!
It was like a dick print.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I was like, God damn! Somebody in the group chat made that the default photo.
Don't let my mom come across this photo. All I'm saying.
Idris Elba with his python. Anyway.
Python.
Speaking of Idris Elba, perfect segue.
Oh man,
the song I want to shout out is.
Can I get recognition of Segway King?
Segway King. I just picture you driving a Segway down the street really, really fast with a helmet on. You're going like 2 miles per hour. Like,
it's like, oh man, that kid.
So
kid must need help.
This is a song by Wiley.
Okay.
I believe he's a producer out of London, I think.
London?
London. You sound like you're from London. Hold on. I want to... Where is he from? So I could get this right.
God forbid the day we actually become poppin' and famous. People are going to do all their history on each of these episodes, and they're going to point out every single time we messed up. You know that. You know that.
Boasty. He's from London. There you go.
Perfect.
He's a lot older than I thought. He's 40 years old.
Really?
Black don't crack. He looks great.
Nice.
So Wiley is a producer out of London, and he produced this song called Boasty.
Boasty.
Boasty. Boasty. Let me look up the meaning of boasty.
I want to be the first white guy. You know how like they say black don't crack?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to come up with a cool saying for white people, like white take flight. You know what I'm saying? Like he can actually jump.
Doesn't have a nice ring to it.
It doesn't have a nice ring. But I want to prove to everybody that like, yo, white people can take good care of their skin. White people can season their chicken well. White people can jump.
You know who's aging,
white person.
Aging pretty well?
Who?
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
He's been old for centuries.
Yeah, but is it somebody that's always looked old and it, like you don't bother to care?
Probably. I guess that was a bad example.
You know who was aging really well, but unfortunately when he passed away was the guy from Fast and Furious.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker people didn't know that Paul Walker was maybe like 43, 44.
Mm-hmm.
For a white guy. Maybe he has other, whatever in him, but yo.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe he was like a little Hispanic and it was working to his advantage or whatever, but I think he was aging really well for a white guy. You looked at him, he looked like he was a young dude, you know what I'm saying? What do you think? No? You saw him?
No, he was aging pretty well.
Oh, okay. Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's aging pretty well.
He's starting to crack a little bit.
A little bit. But when you do,
So I looked up the word boasty, and I don't know if this is what the definition is over in London. If anybody from London's checking this out, please let us know. So boasty is an adjective for a person with a tendency to boast about themselves, sometimes taking it too far.
I think
so cocky, egotistical, conceited.
I think it was definitely that was the concept of the song, because if you listen to it lyrically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So side note, and I know we're going on a tangent here, but remember the song that I shouted out a couple podcasts ago, the Diplo song with the French dude?
Yes.
What was his name? Niska.
Mm-hmm.
And when you broke down the lyrics of the song, it kind of completely ruined it for me. I still listen to it, but now it's 100 times more violent than I thought.
It's a little more violent.
So apparently the song is about killing cops?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's being very street, and again, like most French hip hop songs and rap music are always been politically driven, so it's always against the cops. Like there's a group,
it's like fuck the police type thing.
Exactly. There's a group called NTM, like NTM, and
I feel like I've seen that before.
In French, it stands for Nique ta mère, which is fuck your mother. That's
oh my god,
that's a name. So they abbreviated fuck your mom. So it'd be like
what's my mom got to do with this?
It'd be FYM over here. So like if they said FYM, you know what it is.
We're fighting.
And even though with that name for a group, like it's always been like, there's a lot of how we call pigs cops pigs in the US,
right?
Over there they're chickens. So like you have artists like Booba that says, I love my chickens rotisserie style.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's always against the government officials, and it's always against cops that ruin things for people in the country.
So I guess I should have put that together because the title of the song is Boom Bye Bye.
Yeah. So they're talking about how they get rid of cops if they come to their hood.
Yeah.
But they did it in a very playful.
It's such a nice song.
Yeah.
Now I'm like supporting the killing of. Anyway, Boasty by Wiley featuring Idris Elba, and I think there's a remix featuring Sean Paul and forget who the other artist is, the female artist.
It has to be J Balvin.
No, J Balvin would sound dope on this though.
I know. That's what makes it really international. Like once J Balvin jumps on,
Boasty.
Your worldwide hit, you know you got one. He's like the new age Pitbull. Like if he ends up on your record, you got a remix.
Yeah, buddy. So Boasty. It's a pretty dope song. They're working on a video now, so he posted it on his Instagram. I'm super excited about it just to see how swagged out he is.
I love the refreshing sound. That like
so
I love when.
Hopefully we don't get flagged. Very universal sound, very Caribbean sounding. Yeah. Hopefully
it's like listening to reggae
flagged.
when you listen to people from London. Like it's so dope. You know what I'm saying? It's just refreshing to hear a different slang and accent.
Yeah. I always appreciated like British accents.
Yeah.
It sounds like what Nicki Minaj always wants.
But
to
when you're a British singer, like say you're the Beatles, you can't tell if sometimes the British are just English.
Yeah.
I always think
that's what I always appreciated about British rappers.
Yeah.
Their accent always cuts through.
Yeah.
So that's the song that I'm bumping to quite a bit. And I also wanted to shout out an up and coming guy.
Okay.
It's a guy I discovered on our Instagram. I think we've been following him, I guess, fatefully. I don't want to say accidentally.
Okay.
But he posted a clip the other day, which I thought was pretty dope. He's pretty cool artist. I checked out some of his work on iTunes and Google Play or whatever. But his name is Jay himself. Jae himself.
That's funny that you came across him.
Yeah, right. Jay himself came across.
Jay himself. And then you have Spider-Man meme.
That's one of my favorite memes.
I know, it works so well for so many situations.
We're on Instagram, like, and then we started following each other. And
Jesus.
I should have sent him that meme. That would have been funny.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he would have got it, though.
It's deep.
Maybe. But I appreciate his style. Appreciate his work ethic.
Okay.
And he seems very personable and such a nice guy, at least from the conversations we've had. But this one's called Devil on a Treadmill, so he has an appreciation to lyrics, flows, concepts. Don't flag us, man. We're trying to help you out. But yeah, he's pretty dope, man. I checked out his project at the gym the other day, and you know, Devil on a Treadmill is something I was bumping while on the treadmill.
That was dope.
Not calling myself the devil or anything, but I'm gonna post his Instagram in the video.
There's too many parallels in your guys' world where you're listening to Devil on a treadmill. Jay himself found Jay himself. I don't know. I feel like, you know, I want to see how the plot thickens. You know what I'm saying?
Plot thickens, the moon rises.
You better watch out when he creates a track. So, you know, he might have a title that's like, damn, do you really want to listen to this? Because his title might dictate your life, and this will be an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, what if we're on a track together?
Oh my God!
And we call it Jay himself. Discovers Jay himself.
Or you're
on the treadmill.
If you were
with the devil.
If you end up on a track and it's called Who Lasts.
Explain, please.
So basically, you're on a track, and it's like a rap battle type track where you're going back and forth on bars, and then I don't know if you can't, or
if we're both on a treadmill, and see who gets tired first.
I was gonna say, man. Now that'd be a crazy episode of Black Mirror where everything you find or his songs dictate your life.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
Might.
I don't know.
Boasty.
So I think that's enough love for Idris Elba for today, right?
All right.
Should I make him my Man Crush Monday?
I thought you were gonna say, like, should I make him my background on my Mac?
That too.
With a Python picture. I don't know if I'd be like every time.
I'm gonna look it up for the ladies that are watching the podcast. Hold on, girls. I got you, girls.
Damn.
Hold on. Idris Elba. Hopefully, like.
Did you actually type in Python?
Hold on. if I die, don't look up my search history because it'll just be like porn and Idris Elba's penis.
Oh my God.
I'm literally typing Idris Elba dick print.
Damn.
Hold on, let me see if I can find the photo. Here it is. And it's with dark pants, bro.
Damn.
Come on, man.
Damn, man.
Literally. It's probably like something in his pocket too. It's probably not even. Well, I don't know.
You're trying
you
to
girls decide.
You're trying to make excuses now.
Let me see if it focuses on there. So I've been having a tough time with this.
Oh, it's focusing. Hold on one second.
Oh, it's focusing. Here, hold it.
The camera likes it.
So that's for the girls. You see it?
Oh man. Jesus Christ.
There you go. That's for you girls. But anyway,
that's for you, girl.
Shout out Idris Elba. He's gonna be in that new movie with the
you
Rock,
know what I say? Like
Jason Statham.
Somebody like him, I can't hate on. You know what I'm saying? If you have the dick print going for you, if you have
the accent,
you dress well, you just won an Oscar, you can cook, you can rap. I'm feeling like Idris. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like Idris every day. I want to be in people's mouths like Idris.
Hey.
I want people talking about me like Idris.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So
he just looks like he's having fun with everything that he does.
We're going to make the Idris challenge. If you feel that you're good at least 5 things, let us know. Leave a comment on what you think that you're good at and hashtag Idris challenge. All right? So that's what it is for this week.
Hashtag Boasty.
Hashtag Boasty. Hashtag print.
Deep print.
Deep print.
What was that? Visible.
Yeah, please don't post that on our page.
VPL.
What?
VPL.
VPL.
Visible penis line.
Really? That sounds like
Somebody
very.
That one. I think Amy was the one that was like, doesn't let me wear gray shorts.
Oh wow.
Because of my VPL.
That sounds like something that would give you an instruction book at a new job. They're like, turn to page 30. We're going to read about VPLs today. And you're like,
definitely
what?
From HR.
Yeah, right.
No
HR
gray sweatpants, so they'll see your VPL.
Oh, yeah? Well,
very inappropriate for the
guess
workplace.
What? There is no more pencil skirts allowed.
Especially for you, Idris.
Yeah.
That thing will hang on there.
Even if he's just wearing a pencil skirt, he'd be like, boasting.
That thing will swing like a clock.
You would think they would probably hire him where they're like, you know what, we're gonna use that for the new Lion King. We need to use it as some some graphics.
Yeah. All right, that's enough.
Damn,
it's enough, man.
We gave him too much to be boasty about.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Oh, that's the worst way to end it. Let's wrap this up. You don't even realize what you did.
The penis jokes continue.
God damn it.
Oh, it's so hard to end this when you're having so much fun.
My mom's going to get a kick out of this because I know she has the hardest Idris Elba crush.
The hardest female boner for this.
She's like, my mom, like, she knows him as the character Luther. Yeah. So she's like, I love Luther.
I love me some Luther.
She loves chocolate.
So, shout out to Idris, man.
Yeah, man. I hope that, people like that get all the success in the world because they're just living their life. Other people are just...
Have you listened to his do-rag talk?
No.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
I haven't, actually.
Please do.
Okay.
Periodically, he'll post, like, inspirational
and that's
things.
No hate to... Like, I didn't even know he really had one like that. Yeah, I just see him
pretty
pop
active,
up.
too. But the funny thing is that before we finish this up, just real quick.
Yeah.
He periodically pops up on Instagram and he'll be dressed like bummy as shit. Like, maybe.
Look at that. Here we go. Following.
Woo!
Boom.
But scroll through it and see if you can find one of his like do-rag tokes.
Well, I have one where he looks like he just shaved, but here's a do-rag, huh?
So, Wiley, me, Steph London, and Sean Paul.
And Sean Paul.
Fucking love that accent.
The remix of Boasty.
Hold on.
And the link is in the bio.
He said the link is in the bio.
It's not the do-rag talk. I'll show you. This is a do-rag talk real quick. He always wears a do-rag, which is the funniest thing ever. But this is a do-rag talk.
I mean, you gotta keep the waves going.
Another do-rag thought, I guess. But no, this is coming from my heart. I just want to encourage people to stay away from people who tell you to stay in your lane, all right?
Hey.
Let me tell you something.
You've
got one life to live. It's your birthright to try as many different things as you want. I get criticized for, trying this, doing a bit of that. I love it. It's what I'm here for. If you want to try something different of your life, go for it, all right? If you're a painter and decorator and you want to be a boxer, you try that. If you're an accountant and you want to be a ballet dancer, you go for that. That's your birthright, okay? I get criticized by people who stay in their lane.
There we go.
Haven't got the confidence to try anything else, and that's boring. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
it.
Life's too short for that. And I encourage you to stay away from people like that, or at least challenge them.
Amen.
And do your thing, all right? Do your thing. Don't get pigeonholed into a box. Understand? Hey, people.
It's like, how do you not listen to a guy like that?
That was the realest thing. Honestly, I don't even want to say anything else after that. That wrapped up the podcast. That was perfect.
And we're joking around about it, but that was like this, basically our sentiment when it comes to certain things. It's like
we encourage all of you to step out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Don't be boxed in. If you want to change your whole career tomorrow, and you're confident that you can accomplish that, do it.
Even if you're not, if you just want to try it, see how it goes. Yeah. Do it.
We have one life.
We have one life to live.
That's it.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode 11.
Yeah.
Almost a 7. Episode 11, going back in time.
Episode 711.
Episode 11 of the Terrible Reception Podcast. Again, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your little bell notification so you can know when we drop a video. Apologies for anybody that was waiting for the YouTube video. That was my bad. I completely forgot about posting it. Also, leave a review, leave a rating on Apple Podcasts.
There we go.
And also follow us. Now that you can do it on Spotify, follow us.
Yes.
Like it. That way you get notifications every time we post a new episode.
Yes. And also in the description below, you guys can get quick links to all of our pages, whether it be Facebook, our website, our Instagram and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys ever repeat that, but that's there. So check us out. Check us out. Check us on our Idris challenge. We got a couple things going for us,
Yeah, man. So keep an eye out for The Garden dropping next week.
Yes. I would say by Tuesday.
Yeah. This is probably going to come out the week after. So by the time this comes out, it'll be a weekend. So if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. Let us know what you think about it. It's, like I said, a more aggressive, more darker vibes than you're used to hearing from us. Resonate is in rotation as well.
And then we have another one that we're working on right now that's going to follow all those too.
Yes, sir. So shout out to that. Shout out to us for being dope.
Yes. Pat yourself on the back for once in a while. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have somebody to do it for you,
we'll
do it for yourself. Yeah, because that's going to help you get across that bridge.
And we'll do each other. Yep.
Brow.
So that wraps up episode 11. Thank you for joining us. And as usual, wait, what? Was joining us? Thank you for joining us in our little rant today. Apologies if it got a little dark towards the middle, but we try to lighten it up with our Man Crush Monday. You know what I'm
saying? You can't have darkness without the light and vice versa. We good.
Amén, hermano. So, like as usual,
hit him with the intro in the outro. Wow. Can you hear